this is time that we think of football, fall, and what else but homecomings.
Homecoming. Okay.
Yes, homecoming. And we have where a club can earn $20 in bookstore bucks if they host a homecoming. Now, to do that, they invite at least.
Welcome to D50 After Dark. I'm your host, Mickey Bennett, and today we are having another conversation with our club growth director, Rhonda Bunte, and we're located in the beautiful Faraz Coffee House in Far East Plano. It's a wonderful little coffee shop, and we're having a nice conversation today with our club growth director. Stay tuned. Welcome to D50 After Dark. I'm your host, Mickey Bennett, and welcome back to the show, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Now, Rhonda, you are one of the senior 3 leaders in District 50. You are our club growth director. What does a club growth director do?
A club growth director is basically to grow the district's number of clubs and membership in existing clubs.
Okay. Yeah, and the district has the mission of the district, which is we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. And I think you can immediately see how critical your role as club growth director, helping to create new clubs, helping to grow membership in existing clubs, how critical your role is to that mission.
Yes, we have a goal this year as the trio set a goal that we'd like to be a distinguished district at the end of June 2025.
Okay.
And in order to do that, we have to have one more club than what we started with.
Okay.
Just one more club.
Just one more.
However, there are those situations where clubs have low membership, and they get where they're not renewing sufficient number of membership.
Yeah.
And they become suspended.
Yes.
So far, we have 9 suspended clubs, which means I've got to get out there and do a lot more work and finding new clubs and making sure the clubs that are low in membership increase their membership and do not become suspended. Even the possibility of getting some of those suspended clubs reinstated.
Yeah, so these 9 clubs, these are clubs that were hypothetically viable on July 1st, but now they're at a point where they're really at risk of no longer being a club at all.
Correct.
And that happens when their membership drops below 8?
It drops below 8, and also that the new renewals of how many renewals that they're getting in on time. And it takes really 2 renewal periods before they become suspended.
I see. And so if those clubs don't make it, then we'll need 10 new clubs. So you've either got to rescue some or all of these 9 clubs, or create new ones to replace them from scratch.
Correct.
And you mentioned a distinguished district. Many of our members may be familiar with the Distinguished Club program, where a club has a set of 10 goals to achieve, and if they get 5 of them, they become a distinguished club. And just in the same way, areas have a distinguished club program, divisions have a distinguished club program, and the district has a program, a DCP program. And among other things, they need to grow a net growth of 1 club.
Correct.
Okay, and that's your responsibility.
Let's just say the buck stops here.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone in doing it. You have a whole team of people to do it. And, and we're going to talk about each of the members of the club growth team. But first, as long as we're talking about clubs that disappear, it reminds me there's a step in becoming a distinguished Toastmaster where you have to either be a club sponsor, a club mentor, or a club coach.
Correct.
And I think that last one is particularly relevant here in regards to struggling clubs. What is a club coach?
A club coach is a member of Toastmasters who will work with the club and just perhaps encourage them in looking at what we call moments of truth
Mhm.
and developing a club success plan, and in addressing, working, as we say, that club success plan, because that is the same, that success plan is designed the same way as we will see out on Toastmasters International Distinguished Clubs dashboard. They have to have trained so many people, uh, their officers, at least 4 officers trained. To get credit in the fall and spring, they have to submit their dues on time, submit their new membership list, a new officer list on time, as well as increase their membership
Mhm.
to have the required membership, because there's a base each club starts with, and then they have to increase it by 3 members.
Mhm.
But that has to be to get them to be a club in good standing of 8 members. So they have to get there. So, for example, one club has to have 10, it starts with a base of just 10 members. It has to have a growth of 3. So that gives it to 13 members. It is fine.
Okay.
Other clubs, they may start with 18 and need to get 3. As long as they get that required number that they are required,
Yeah.
and not lose any members.
Yeah.
Not lose any members. If they start with 10 and 2 leave, now they have to get 5 new members.
Right. Right. Okay. So in short, a club coach is a Toastmaster who takes on an official role through the club growth team
Correct.
to support a struggling club and help them turn around and be a successful club.
Correct. It has to be a distinguished club. The term is usually, the coach usually serves for at the minimum of 6 months if the club becomes distinguished,
Mhm. Yeah.
or maybe up to 2 years. Just depends on how engaging the club members are to grow that club and become distinguished.
Okay, very cool. So Toastmasters does have a program to help these 9 struggling clubs get turned around and stay viable. So you have a whole team that helps you
Yeah.
as the club growth director. Let's talk about some of your team members. Since we were just talking about club coaches, tell me first about your club coach chair.
Club coach chair. Okay, that is Lavon Broach,
Okay.
and she pairs coaches with clubs that have between 3 to 12 members
Mhm.
that would qualify for a club coach.
Okay.
And anybody who wants to serve as a club coach, or any club that wants to request a club coach, can just go to District 50's website, and under club growth, there's a drop down menu, and request to serve as a coach or request a club coach for their club.
Yeah, very cool. So this is for both clubs that are struggling, and it's pretty clear why they would want to reach out to the district. They need help. They need an experienced
Correct.
Toastmaster to come in and provide that support and experience to help them turn their club around. Why would somebody want to be a club coach?
Club coach is one of those requirements towards a distinguished Toastmaster, for
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is just the satisfaction of helping other clubs of attaining distinguished.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think I have not been a club coach myself, but I can imagine the experience you gain in helping a struggling organization turn around can translate into so many other things. My Rotaract club, a community service club, our membership is low. If we had someone helping us to turn our membership around, that would be great. There are businesses that may be struggling, and there's steps that they can take to turn their business around, and the experience you gain as a club coach could translate into some of those situations.
Correct.
Yeah. So who else is on your team?
There is the extension team.
Okay.
And that is by Candy Bradshaw and Cynthia Lucas.
Okay.
They follow our leads that we get for new clubs.
Okay.
For once who wants to form a new club in Toastmasters. They Toastmasters International has a what we call a lead system of people who may want to form a club, and they enter the information into the system, and that comes to us. We follow up. These particular ladies will call and see if the person is looking for a club or is interested in forming a Toastmasters club.
Okay.
If we can easily direct them to how to find a club. If they want to form a new club, I contact them, give them the information, application forms, and explain the procedure and the cost associated with it. But that's what they do. And we also have the opportunity to go to organizations, corporations, and actually engage with maybe human resources or their training divisions and sell to them the benefits of Toastmasters and see if that is something that the education program brings to them that would benefit their employees in gaining communication skills, presentation skills, and either leadership skills in that particular organization or corporation.
Very cool. So if anybody's wanting to start a club, these are the Toastmasters that they would end up working with, them and yourself.
Correct.
Okay. Very cool. Extension chair. So we're extending Toastmasters out into new communities and to new people who have identified themselves as a potential lead in the system. Okay. Who else is on your team?
There is our retention chair,
Okay.
David Dunn. Now, he coordinates with the area directors and the division directors for clubs that do not fit for a club coach that we discussed, but maybe having some challenges in membership or in the achieving the education goals.
Okay.
And the idea is we want to retain the membership we have in these clubs.
Okay.
We also want to grow the clubs.
Right.
Therefore, he is identifying these particular areas that can be done to work towards that club becoming distinguished, that area becoming distinguished. So it all rolls up into the district becoming distinguished. So that is how he is working to make sure that we have the retention of our members in clubs that are kind of fall outside of getting a coach, but it's having someone there that's kind of like an outside mentor, a little encouragement for them.
Got it. So what kind of activities might he help a club or area with?
Okay. It would be some of the similar things a coach would be doing: moments of truth, the club success plan, ensuring that they're doing that, and helping them perhaps identify ways that they may carry out that success plan.
Okay, very cool. And for those who don't know, the Moments of Truth is a special presentation Toastmasters has where an experienced member can go through a conversation with the members to identify where it is they're struggling and why, and what steps they can take to turn the club around towards being successful. Yeah, very cool. Okay, and then you have a demonstration chair?
Demonstration chair is for holding a meeting, a club meeting for a potentially new club to charter.
Okay.
The Eugene Liang and Richard Goodrum are the people who are handling this. What they do is put together a team, and they usually call members, and the location where the club would be may be forming.
Okay.
In other words, we just recently had a demonstration meeting at Texas A&M University at Commerce, Texas. It's a little bit out northeast of us, not in the Metroplex. We contacted people who would be maybe an hour's drive away because it is somewhat remote.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Metroplex.
Right. Yeah.
So they organize the meeting roles just as we would have a club meeting,
Yeah.
Toastmaster and table topics and a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Then we talk to them after the meeting about the benefits again of Toastmasters, encouraging potential members to charter the club, potential sponsors of the benefits to chartering the club, and leadership skills, and hoping that when we have the best of the best in doing our presentation, that they're very well understand how well Toastmasters is there to develop communication skills.
So the demonstration chair, and you have two of them, it sounds like. So demonstration chairs, they're responsible for helping to organize demo meetings, which is basically a product demonstration where
Yes.
the product is the Toastmasters meeting, and they're demonstrating this product to a potential customer, some community or organization that is interested in starting a new Toastmasters club. And so they come out, they present a demo meeting. It's maybe a little bit shorter than a normal meeting, possibly. Yes. It includes at least one speaker, usually like a Toastmasters testimonial. We have table topics. We have a little fun. We see an evaluation of a speech. And so people get a sense of what a Toastmasters meeting looks like, what they're getting into.
Right.
And there's an opportunity to ask for the sale at the end to sign members up.
That's right.
Okay, very cool. So the demonstration share. So that's for those who want to start a new club. They're going to be working with those two individuals.
Correct.
All right, and then you have one more person on your team, the strategy analytics chair.
We have also a sponsor and mentor chair.
Oh, I skipped over that on my list. So
yes, that's Tia Samuels.
The sponsor mentor chair.
Yes. She assigns sponsors and mentors to a club that is about to charter.
Okay.
Sponsors can be the individual, sometimes of the organization or corporation that is involved in actually encouraging and developing and sponsoring that club within the organization. It's also one sponsor can be with a member of the Toastmasters already who's working on their distinguished Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a mentor. The sponsors are working together just to get the application forms all done and make sure they're prepared properly.
Yeah.
That makes it a quicker form and process to charter the club.
Yeah.
Once that club is chartered, then the mentors come in. And the mentors are there, usually two, for 6 months to help the club in organizing its meetings, uh, also electing its officers,
Mhm.
getting to know everything about how the district works, the hierarchy of Toastmasters,
Yeah.
the opportunities in District 50, the activities that are going on, to understand really the operations, the nuts and bolts of what Toastmasters is about in District 50. And the benefit of serving, again, as a sponsor or a mentor, is it's towards the members' distinguished Toastmaster, if that's what they're working for. And people who want to serve in those roles can go again out to District 50's website under Club Growth Director, and there's a form to fill out for sponsor or mentor or both if they like to do that. And that will go directly to Tia.
Okay, very cool. So in other words, the sponsor helps the club get chartered, and then once they're chartered, the mentor helps them through those first 6 months
Mhm.
of the club, a vulnerable time for a new club when they're creating all of their club culture and their best practices over those first 6 months to make
Yes.
sure they get off to a running start.
Yes.
And anybody in our district could be a sponsor or a mentor if they reach out to the club growth team.
Yes.
All right, and then finally, and we're going to talk more about sponsors and mentors in our next episode when we talk about creating new clubs. But you have one more person on your team, the strategy analytics chair.
Yes, that is Norman Lumhe. He assisted in the preparation of a marketing analysis that is required by Toastmasters International. That is something that my team does. We put together and look to see where we are as a base number of clubs within the district, how many clubs we need to grow, as we said, one net club to be a distinguished club. We also look and see where's our potential areas to market, and then we list out our process, our steps, our strategy.
Mm-hmm.
How will we go about identifying areas to engage corporations and organizations that would benefit from Toastmasters, to sell the sizzle to them?
Yeah.
And so that's what he assisted me in doing. It's a lot of analytics, it's a lot of searching for information and pulling it together. And he's very good at that. He loves it.
Yeah. I mean, every time I hear about a new role in Toastmasters that I didn't know about before, I'm always thinking about like how this provides such great experience that translates into experiences and efforts outside of Toastmasters. And I can imagine this strategy analytics role could be really great on the resume of someone who's in marketing and marketing analytics and
Yes.
a role like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it helps when you start with a background and then emphasize it even more. It's just wonderful to do that. It's an opportunity.
Very cool. So we've heard all about your team and what you're out to accomplish. You're out to grow Toastmasters, bring it to new people, new communities. You've been the club growth director now for 4 months.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you like it?
It's a good challenge.
Yeah.
It's what gets me going for the day.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, but before we wrap up the episode, do you have a call to action
Yes,
for
I
our
do.
listeners?
I do. For those who are enjoying the fall weather, this is time that we think of football, fall, and what else but homecomings.
Homecoming. Okay.
Yes, homecoming. And we have where a club can earn $20 in bookstore bucks if they host a homecoming. Now, to do that, they invite at least 10 previous members. Now, whether or not all 10 show, they can invite 100 previous members.
Okay.
As their club. How many they want to go, how far they want to go back, because I know some clubs as one club just recently celebrated its 47th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yes. They had a great homecoming theme because it was Halloween. It was a fantastic turnout. But just when you complete that information, take a photo of the event and let me know that it's happening. Perhaps I'll be able to show and congratulate you there in person on such a wonderful event. Just send it to me, to my attention, of Club Growth Director, CGD, at D50TM.org.
Very cool. So this is a promotion the district's running. It sounds like it's basically an open house, but it's got the special theme of homecoming, like a high school homecoming game or something like that. And you're particularly wanting clubs to have these open houses and invite their past members, invite at least 10, and take a picture, send it to you, and they'll be rewarded bookstore bucks.
Correct.
Now, do at least 10 previous members have to come, or you just need to invite them?
You need to invite them.
Okay.
Because sometimes, as I said, maybe they're not all available to come.
Yeah.
But at least, some people come back, and at the meeting I was at the other day, they realized how much they missed being at the Toastmasters meeting and was interested in rejoining.
I love this idea. I've done this in my club for some of our open houses. I've gone through, I have all these old club rosters and lists of emails from people who've been in the club in years past. And it's great I like to, you can email them, but I like to call these individuals up because I know many of them and invite them. And even if they don't end up coming to the meeting, it's just really great to get in touch with these people who were a part of your life through Toastmasters in years past. So I really love this idea. How long is this promotion going till?
Until the end of the year.
To the end of the year.
Because then in spring, we have open house promotion.
Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. And I love this idea because we're entering the holiday season. There's going to be some weeks where many clubs will cancel a meeting, right? Maybe they don't have a meeting during Thanksgiving, or they don't have a meeting during the week of Christmas. So a lot of clubs have fewer meetings in this time. So what better way to make the meetings that we do have in these coming 2 months more impactful than to have a special event, an open house, right, a homecoming. I love this idea.
Yes.
All right, so that's our call to action. Thank you so much for this conversation, Rhonda. In our next conversation, stay tuned to our next conversation in D50 After Dark, because we're going to continue talking to our club growth director, Rhonda Bunte, and we're going to talk about starting a new club, what it takes, who's there to help you do it. It's going to be a really interesting conversation. We'll see you next time.